What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AM, guys. Welcome back to 5 Minute Rants. I'm your host, Michael Abernathy, and welcome to the show predicated on the journey of life and business. Well, everybody, today is the last episode for the Strategy Breakdown series, and we are going to talk about execution today. And if you're just now joining us, we started this series about four episodes ago, and we're just simply talking about how to come up with a strategy to accomplish your objective. And it doesn't matter whether it's business, doesn't matter whether it's life, it doesn't matter what you're trying to do. This is simply, hey, here's a practical way about how to build a strategy to move forward in life and to get where you want to go. So we're talking about execution today. And the interesting thing about execution is this. It is very easy to fail at, but it is also the easiest step to do. Execution is very easy to accomplish and very easy to do because it requires two things. One, showing up. It requires you to show up. Two, it requires you to actually do the work. In other words, have discipline. And it is easy to execute. However, it is hard to have execution with purpose, which is why we went through this whole framework to develop a plan for you to actually be able to do the work that matters when it comes to accomplishing your goals. An example of this is if your objective is to get out of debt, if you don't have a plan for how to get out of debt, you will never get out of debt. Now, if you have a plan to get out of a debt and then you actually never do what you're supposed to do, you'll still never get out of debt. And so plans will do nothing for you if you don't execute, and execution will do nothing for you if you don't have a plan. And it's so important that you have both of these pieces. You have to have a healthy mix of strategy and planning, and then you have to have execution and the discipline to work on the other side. So anyways, this is the step in the plan that's very easy. It's a step in the strategy that is very easy. And so it's simply taking your plan and then accomplishing the work that you know that you need to do every day, all the work that you have. This is also why it's so important to have a purpose tied to your objective, because now this is where buy-in matters the most. If you don't have buy-in from yourself or from your team while executing, you will fall into the whole, why am I doing this? This is pointless. This just seems stupid. There seems to be no point to doing the work that I'm doing right now. And that's because you don't have buy-in. You don't actually believe in what you're doing. And you don't believe in what you're doing partly because you're probably missing a purpose, or your purpose isn't real if you do have one. And the same thing for your team. And if you don't have buy-in, you're not actually going to execute the work the way you need to. And eventually you'll quit, because purpose is what helps us stay motivated and is what helps us drive forward. It is just as much a part of the objective as the actual objective itself, right? And so it is so important to have that purpose. And then it's so important to make sure that there's buy-in with you, with your team, or anybody else involved in the plan, or anybody else involved in doing the work. If your team members don't have buy-in, they are going to fail you because they're not bought in on the mission. They will underperform in everything that they're doing, just like you would, just like I would. We will underperform when we don't believe in the work we're doing. And this is why culture matters so much. Culture matters so much in your household. Culture matters so much in the workplace, in the business place. And culture really comes from purpose and having a purpose that everybody universally buys into, having a greater good that serves more than just, hey, I'm going to make some money. Nobody shows up just to make money. People who show up just to make money, just to pay the bills, are normally miserable. And I know that because I've been one of those people, and I've worked with a lot of people like that, where they're showing up just to pay bills and they're miserable. They hate their job because they don't have purpose or they haven't bought into the purpose. The next part about execution is execution really requires ownership. So it requires ownership of the plan you've made, and it requires ownership of the work you're doing. And that means you own the successes. It also means you own what went wrong. And if you are a part of the plan, and it doesn't matter where you are because everybody's a leader, right? Whether you're a team member, you're leading those above you, next to you, and below you, or whether you're the person in charge, everything is your responsibility. In other words, if it all goes wrong, it's your fault. If it all goes right, cool, that's yours to own as well. That's success. But without ownership, there won't be forward momentum, and the work, again, will be undone. Because you won't shift gears when you need to, and you won't change when you need to, and you won't celebrate when you need to. Anyways, guys, I'm out of time, and that's the end of the series. I'll catch y'all next episode. Peace.